Well, your vote is in. I recently did a haul video with 5 different products, and the dipping powder won the vote. Let's do this. So dipping systems can be kind of confusing because there's so many steps and you have to do some so quick and one you have to wait a few minutes. So I'm going to try to break that down easily and simply so we can understand it. So if you're doing this on natural nails, you want to remove a little bit of the shine, push your cuticles back, and remove that cuticle sticky surface and make it all nice and clean. I've already done that because my nails are actually acrylic. We're going to do this on acrylic. So my nails are already prepared and all I've done is slightly buff them. And all I have to do is just remove the dust before we get started. Okay. Just gonna grab my glasses so I don't grab the wrong bottle. That would make things even more confusing. Okay, so most dipping systems are generally the same. And the number one thing we use, this is the bonding agent. This is what we can do to all fingers at the same time. The stuff can dry, there's no urgency for it. You do want to use it because it cleans the nail completely before we start using the product. So I'm just going to gently paint on each and every single nail. I've got some previous product I did here before. We're just going to ignore that. These have been filled and fresh and they're all shaped and ready to go. You won't see the color underneath here once we get the powder on. Okay, so that's the first step that's done. So the next step is called the base. We want to make sure we're doing this step one at a time. So don't put the second step, the base, on all of the nails at once. We're going to do one at a time. This is really the glue that sticks the powder onto the nail, okay? So this stuff can be a little bit stinky, and it also needs a little bit more speed. You don't want to wait around too long because it could completely dry because it is like a glue. So I'm going to remove my little holder, and I'm going to use a clear base first. So this is my clear powder, and when I talked to Benny, he's the manufacturer of this stuff, he did say that the color helps absorb better to the clear and you get a better color. So that was good to know. Now, after we do this clear coat, we are going to want to do a color. So I'm going to prepare my color now so I'm nice and ready. And I'm going to pick this beautiful purple. I quite frankly would like to see what they all look like, but we'll do 5 today. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Okay, we're going to put the base on first. Now, wherever you put your base is where the color is going to stick. So you really want it to be smooth like a polish application. Everywhere where it's not, the powder will not stick. So we're going to get the base on. We're going to paint this on very carefully. Again, wherever this is, the powder will stick. I can actually smell it. I'm used to that smell. It's very similar to our nail glues. Now when I put this in, I'm going to dip it in, but I do want the product to kind of fall on it too. And I'm going to leave it for a second or two because I really want the product to absorb into that finger. And I'm going to knock the excess. Nice. Now I can let that sit for a bit. Now, you can take a duster and wipe away the dust on the sides. However, I don't really want to do that yet because it's not quite set. It's a glue. It needs a minute to dry. It needs a minute to cure. So while that's setting up, let's do the other one. So we can do all the base ones first. It's that when you do the base, you've got to do the color right away. So you don't want to do all the bases and then do all the dipping separately. You really kind of want to base and dip. Okay, so I'm going to keep going to the next finger until I get all the fingers covered with the base. I'm going to need a little bit more for that side. Now I accidentally hit my finger just a tiny little bit on the skin, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, and then I'm going to dip it into my clear base. When I talked to Benny, I did ask him, can I just skip the clear base? And he said, well, you could, but if you're doing it on a natural nail, you don't want to. But also, for a smoother color and more pigmented, it's best, he said, if you use the base. Make sure you get up to that cuticle too. You want all the powder to get on there. Okay, and then you can just knock the excess off with your finger. Okay, they're set pretty good. Oh, I got one more. Let's do the thumb. You do want to get rid of the excess too. Okay, so let's put our clear base away. And with the index now, we can dust off a little powder. See, that's dry now. And it's good to get rid of the excess, actually. I'm going to leave the pinky and the thumb for a minute, make sure that they're totally dry before I start wiping it away. Okay, let's get into some color. I'm really excited about that. Okay. This beautiful shade, look at that. My goodness, that's gorgeous. So we're still working with the base as the second coat. You don't have to go to your other steps yet. The base is still what we work with to make the powder stick. So we're gonna go back to that index finger again. And we're gonna put the base on. Make sure you get it all. You wanna cover that whole thing. Where the base is not, the powder will not go. Dip this gorgeous color in. Get it right up to the cuticle. Just gonna let it sit in there for a sec. I don't want any missing spots. Wow, that is gorgeous. Whew. I got my eye on this burgundy color. Let's get a look at this. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, here we go with the base again. So I'm going to paint some more of the base on, which makes the powder stick. I'm going to dip this gorgeous wine color in. Oh man, that's really pretty. These are very heavy pigmented powders. That's what makes dipping powders special, is they are quite heavily pigmented. Okay, now let's try this beautiful sparkly blue one. Look at that. So the sparkles are a little bit different, and I'll show you why. So let's get that base on again. Now, just to remind you, this is a glue and it dries pretty quick, so you only want to do one finger at a time. Don't put your glue on all the fingers first. Okay, we're going to dip this beautiful sparkle. Whoa. Just give it a little shake. Let it really soak into that glue. Okay, I've got my eye on another one, which is this beautiful green. Again, want to get the base on there. Now I'm going to make sure I get the tip really covered, because if you notice on this one, it didn't stick as well. Get that right in there. Okay. So now I'm just going to wipe the dust off of this index finger. And the next finger. Oh, my thumb. Let's not forget the thumb. Okay, so I think for the thumb, I can't, this color is so pretty. That is pretty. Okay, again, we're still working with the base. Now I've noticed the tip of one of my fingers, actually maybe even the last two fingers, it didn't quite stay on the tip. So I'm gonna try to go more gently in the tip. Maybe I'm pushing too hard, I don't know, but I'm gonna let it absorb a little bit there and then go right in. Cover that cuticle completely. That did better. So maybe when I'm going in, I'm just kind of, the tip is not getting fully absorbed. That looks beautiful. Okay. So because I'm so used to acrylic application and gel polish and nail polish being perfectly smooth, this is a tiny bit bumpy for my liking. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a file before I dip any further, see if I can smooth it out, because I don't want to continue that bump. So I'm just trying to smooth it out a little before I get too deep into color, because I'm going to do a second coat. Okay, so I think that did help. Okay. We're going to dip it again to give that true concentration of color. So we're going to go back into our purple. I do that wine color. This is a time too where you can make sure you get the sides completely, just like you would if you were polishing. So when you're dipping, you do want to kind of keep it at that 45-degree angle. I'm tilting my jar up all the time because I'm trying to make it for the angle for the cameraman. Now I am noticing when you do it at a 45-degree angle, it will lessen any types of bumps or glitches. So there is some special consideration for the glitter. If you want to shape this with your file, you cannot do that to the glitter directly. So then you have to do one more coat of the clear. So another coat of your base. That's if you're going to file a little bit and shape it a little bit. About my thumb. I gotta say, I'm really loving this thumb color. So I'm just gonna paint the glue on. And then I'm gonna dip it in this beautiful color. Now you do want to keep it at the 45-degree angle. I am holding it for the camera, but I'm still at a 45 to the jar. It's really pretty. Okay. So I decided to clear cap the blue glitter, but I decided not to clear cap the green glitter so you can see the difference. When you clear cap, that is only meant to be if you're going to file a little bit on that particular finger. So I am going to do that, but this one we can't file on it because we didn't clear cap it. But I wanted to show you the filing process too, right? So I won't do all these lids up, but let me just cover some of these, so we don't have any contamination with powders. Okay, so this one needs to dry for a little bit, but these ones are pretty dry. So this is the one we want to shape a little bit. You can see it's getting a bit thicker too. whenever you add more layers, you're just making it thicker and thicker and thicker. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm not really big on the dip system, because if it's just a color I'm looking for, I would rather just put it on with a polish or a gel. But, I mean, this stuff is pretty strong. And now this is not meant to elongate, not meant to put a form on it and build a nail out. This product, the dipping systems, are really meant to be put on natural nails by not lengthening them or putting it on acrylic or gel. So I just want to thin this a little bit, and just because it's kind of lost its shape a little with all the layers that we put on it. Let's see if I can retain that shape a little bit. And it does make them stronger, I will say. It does. If you've got natural nails and you're trying to make them a little bit stronger, this could certainly do that for you. Now I'm at liberty to file this one simply because we put the clear capping on top, the clear capping of the powder. It's the same premise when you're doing acrylic or gel. When you're encasing the glitter, you want to put product on top of it to encase it, to protect the glitter, really, because as you can see, we don't want to file directly on that. Okay, so that gave a nice little shape. That brought back the shape because I was kind of losing it a little bit. So we're just going to dust off all the excess. And now we're going to put on the activator. Okay. So let's go with the first two, not the glitter ones. Let's just focus on these two right now. So the activator is this one. And the activator is going to work as a sealant, basically. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to paint the activator on to seal it. And it spreads out a little bit. You can see it spreading. Now you do want to let this dry. So let's get the activator on the glitters. Now an activator is working as a sealant. We're going to let that soak in and dry for about 30 seconds. So once you wait 30 seconds, you then can file again if you want to make it a little smooth. I like to file it in between too because I can try to make it a little bit shaped. So you just want to do a soft or a gentle file, and you can do some more smoothing. You don't want to take away any of that beautiful glitter. Dipping systems are cool. They're a quick way to get some color, and they are pretty strong. But I have to say, no matter how much and how thin you try to do it, dipping systems, or even how much filing you try to do in between, they're generally on the thicker side. And I think it's because it coats the whole thing. When you're doing polish, you have a little bit more control to do thinner near the cuticle and thinner near the tip, right? Or thinner on the whole thing in general. Okay, so now you want to clean these off. You can wash your hands. If you do, don't use soap though, because you don't want it to interfere with the next step. So I'm going to clean off all the dust that I can, get right into the cuticles to get all that dust out of there. Now you don't want to wipe that pinky if you left it with just the glitter on there. Okay, now, so I will say, when you get to this step, go back to your base and make sure that you close it, because it is a glue, and any little bit of air getting in there will start to harden it right up, and you may go use it one day and you can't use it because it's all hardened up in there. So I just want to make sure that's closed. So the activator and the top coat in this system work pretty closely together. And to get a really good shine, Benny from Joya says you want to work with them close together. So we want to put the activator on and then the top coat on right after. So I'm going to do activator and then top coat for each finger, okay? So here goes my activator. Now I'm going to do it for the glitter one because I do want to protect that. I want that glitter not to be knocked off. It stays pretty shiny. That's pretty. And you can see it's starting to dry up now. Don't want to forget my thumb. So you just want to wait for about 30 seconds, and then you want to apply the top coat one more time in kind of a slower, kind of massage it in kind of layer. Make sure you get it everywhere. And this will be your final top coat.
Summer nights and days were long. You and me, we were the only ones. We were holding nothing back from the greatest nights we ever had. In slow motion.
There you have it. That's nice and shiny. So you ask what the other 2 bottles are, because there are 6 and we've really only used 4. So the other one is a vitamin oil. And the last one is a brush saver. So if you're getting a lot of product because you're dipping so much onto the brush, you can dip it in here to clean it off. So let's use that cuticle oil. Okay, I'm gonna let that soak in. I'm gonna wash up the glitter around the edges, and then we'll look at the reveal shots. These colors really are quite beautiful. Joya has 60 colors to choose from for their dipping powders, and they have 60 more coming. That's pretty exciting. I can't wait to see them. Well, thank you for joining me, and I thank you for voting on your selection for the dipping powder. I had so much fun. I hope I was able to break down it step by step to make it a little bit easier for you. I'll see you in the next video.